Bullying, it's something that we hear about, that we talk about, even read about. But when it comes to your doorstep, it takes on a whole new perspective. Blaine Jones is here to talk about an experience. And is that right? I mean, because you had to, in your role as a criminal defense attorney, you had to know that bullying happens. It happens to some of the people that you represent. Some of the people you represent have probably bullied someone. But it's different when it comes home.
But you know, even when I represent people that are accused of bullying, I've always said to them, listen, let's own it. Let's try to make sure that we're sorry for our actions, and let's try to grow from it. Well, you know, one of the questions I asked, for instance, in the meeting was, the young man that did this to my son, will he undergo any type of cultural sensitivity training, classes, anything? Len, they looked at my wife and I like we had 7 heads. Like they'd never heard of that concept. So if you don't train this behavior, or, you know, I guess, for it to be unlearned, so to speak, what makes you think when this person comes back, or other kids, they're not going to do the same darn thing?
Right.
There's just simply nothing in place. And that's what my problem is. And not only that, one of the things that I'm seeking to do, I want language in the student handbook that's explicit on bullying. Not just racial bullying, but bullying, period.
So wait, there's nothing in the handbook about bullying?
It's vague. And the problem with a law that's vague, Len, and you covered the courts for a very long time, that's where we became friends, it's open for interpretation.
Right.
So you have an administration that is the judge, the jury, and the executioner, yet they can't give you a reason why they're doing the things they're doing. It's very simple. If you're bullying, intimidating, harassing another classmate, let's have a due process hearing. If you're found to have done that after the due process hearing, you get a 5-day suspension. If you do it again, it goes up a little more. If you do it again, you're not needed in this school district. We want to eradicate kids feeling victimized by bullies. And I get it, Len. Like I said, bullying is as old as can be. I think it's probably it shows the worst of our humanity, but that doesn't mean that we just pass it along generationally. I think that we can say if we put in certain precautions, we can mitigate the amount of bullying. And then if someone is found to have bullied someone, it's 0 tolerance. But they don't have that where we are. And the crazy thing is I've spoken to so many people in Western Pennsylvania that are going through the same thing, whether it's because of some type of handicap situation, racial situation, but they're doing the same thing. And it's like the administrators, they don't have the courage, at least some of them. I don't want to paint them with a broad brush, but it seems as though it's harder to really sit down and delve into the issue. And it's the lazy, easy route to say, we're just going to suspend everyone equally, and hopefully that'll be the deterrent. That doesn't work.
I was going to say, is that the easy way out, though? Because then, if there's a question, if someone challenges it, they can say, well, we just did that across the board.
But I think that they should have the right to challenge. I'm a criminal defense attorney, for goodness sakes. I think
of course you're going to challenge.
Absolutely. I think you should have that right. But if after you found to have bullied a classmate, then something needs to be done, because you and I both know, Lynn, kids take their cues from adults.
Oh, yeah.
And if the adults in the room are turning a blind eye and they're not doing anything, then what's the big deal? The young man that did this to my son got the same amount of suspension as my son. Think about that. The aggressor in this situation that used vile and repulsive language that got the exact same suspension. What message does that send? It's terrible. It's lazy by the administration. And I'm doing my best to make sure that if they're not competent to do what we've asked them to do, we find administrators that are competent, that are courageous, that are going to stick up for the kids in our area.
So how do you bring about that change?
Well, you know,
I mean, it sounds good, and it sounds
good.
like it makes sense, but how do you make that happen?
Yeah, I agree with you, and I don't want this to be a moment. I want this to be a movement. I want it to be a movement where we're doing all we can to protect our kids. But what's the course of action? The course of action, you know, I've represented quite a few teachers, and there's a way to make sure teachers are accountable to students, and that's one of the things that we're doing. Additionally, I've been in contact with, I can't even tell you how many families, and we're going to put together a book of all the stories of their kids being victimized and the administration's lack of response. And I'm going to disseminate that book very widely. So therefore, it's going to be right there, and they can't run from it. And we have some other things planned. I believe it's 4 other attorneys right now, and we're waiting for the stories to be compiled, and we're deciding whether or not there's going to be a potential for a federal civil rights lawsuit as well. I'm not stopping, Lynn. This is something that I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about helping victims of bullying, and I'm not going to stop. And I've been blessed. I have this platform. So am I supposed to just wear fancy suits and, and drive a nice car? Or is there supposed to be more substance behind it? And I think there's supposed to be the latter. There's supposed to be more substance behind it. And I want to know on my last day, my last breath, that I did all I could to help people.
You made a difference. So how's your son? How has this affected your son? And now he's back at school.
He's back at school. He's doing well, but he's confused. He'll come into the bed with my wife and I before bedtime and say, I just don't get it. I didn't do anything wrong. I defended myself. And I will say to him, listen, we've always taught our 3 kids to ignore racism, ignore hate, ignore all the evil things that you can. But if someone challenges you in the manner in which you were challenged, at some point in time you have to take a stand. Because let's be real, as African American people in the United States, you're going to experience racism.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just part and parcel with
sometimes
what we do.
Subtle, sometimes blatant.
Yeah, sometimes the coded language, sometimes explicitly. So our kids are aware of that. But at what point in time do you say you got to stand up for yourself? Because all you have is your dignity. And if this kid is saying to my son, you're an N-word 3 times, what are you going to do about it in front of the whole cafeteria? Is my son supposed to just take it and run the other way, or is he supposed to say, enough's enough? But quite frankly, the problem, Lynn, is that there's the culture. It's institutionalized. It's systemic where we live, because the administration hasn't stepped forward with courage and said, we're done with this. Instead, they just want to sweep it under the rug. That's the problem. But I'm going to do all I can to help.
I got a couple follow-up questions,
Sure.
but we got to take a break.
All right. Sounds good.
We'll be back. Don't go away. Obviously, we have a lot more to talk about.